particular architecture is called mixture of experts. The biggest draw, I believe the biggest money shot is basically the 10 million context window, which is the highest at this particular moment. Now, the cost analysis for Maverick is huge. It's like $8,000. And in speed, again, we have Llama 3 and 4 right around the corner with a decent score, top 10. Now, Llama 4 Behemoth, which is huge. And the reason is, I know there's been a lot of conspiracy theories going around that where did they get that kind of a data? Where did Meta get that kind of a data to actually train this behemoth? I know we all know the answer, but again, positive comments over here, nothing negative. So Behemoth being topped against Claude Sonnet 3.7, again recently released, Gemini 2.0 Pro. I'm using Gemini 2.0 in production everywhere I can. And recently released GPT 4.5, and I don't know what to say. This is crazy. If and given the fact that we would have access to these models in our WhatsApp, on our Instagram, on Facebook, and free chat in general, which Meta provides. When you talk about Behemoth, the thing is, the reason the Llama 4 Scout and Llama 4 Maverick are doing so good is because of the distillation itself. So back in the day when Llama 3.1, probably the 405 billion parameter model was released, you can probably go and see the video below. I'm gonna hook it up into the cards. So I believe they were working on something like this, and now they came up with Behemoth, which is like, you know, such a huge model. Obviously, it's huge, and they have used this model for distillation, and so can you. Once it's currently in preview, it hasn't been released for public, so it's still in preview. Probably they'll roll this out, and just see the tagline: the most intelligent teacher model for distillation. So when you have like a huge model with a huge set of knowledge, obviously you can use it to distill the smaller scale model to make them more intelligent. Let's put these models up against each other, and you guys know the drill. I'm back within my Versal playground, and here I am: Llama 4 Maverick, Anthropic Claude 3.5, and OpenAI GPT-4o. And I always have like a set of questions which I use to test these models. Let's see. But before you do that, just see the contrast in terms of pricing. So this is probably the lowest price model right now, $0.2 per million token, and for output as well. And just see the contrast. This is really expensive. This is just around the corner. Even this is probably Claude 3.5 Sonnet is the most expensive model in this battle. But let's see in terms of performance. This is, I know you cannot judge everything by putting these models up against each other, but it really helps you give that very first impression about that model in terms of speed, in terms of the way the response is structured. At least I judge all these LLMs a lot by these attributes. So let's go ahead and hit enter. Okay, GPT-4o finished first, Anthropic 3.5 finished last, and Maverick finished second. And if you see the response, obviously a more concise response is given by GPT-4o. And at second number, I would say a more concise response is given by Maverick. 3.5 Sonnet is more elaborative. Let's try another piece of question. Let me just clear this up. Let's start with, a bit of a more simpler question, a quadratic equation, if you may. All right, enter. Okay, so I think Maverick finished first. Again, in terms of readability, I would say Maverick at the top. No, in terms of readability, I would say Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Nice. It also generated this Python code, which I didn't require. But in terms of, quick answer, Maverick at the top, 3.5. Claude Sonnet second, and I don't like the way the response is structured for GPT-4o. And it's a bit verbose, so I don't need that. So yeah, I think Maverick wins this round. And let's try even a more simpler question. Let's clear this out. Okay, GPT-4o finished first, Maverick second, 3.5 Sonnet third. Again, the most precise answer is given by Maverick itself. So yeah, this is great. So let's try Scout with small models. Okay, I'm gonna choose Scout. I'm gonna choose Haiku, and I'm gonna choose Gemini Flash. Okay, Gemini 2 Flash experimental. Let me clear the chat. Let's start with the very same question. This is just to judge the speed. Again, see the contrast of the pricing. $0.10 per million tokens. Here we're not given any price, and the connex window length. Not sure the prices are mentioned here. Let's see. Enter. I think Scout finished first. Can decide between Scout and Gemini 2. Anthropic Haiku finished last. Let's clear our chat up. And obviously, in terms of the concise answer, Gemini is more concise. So let's try this particular pattern. Enter. Again, first impression. Okay, so I would still say Gemini 2.0 Flash is doing a much better job in terms of a user. Again, you cannot judge the performance at different scale. This is just in terms of expression, like how these models do, what kind of response they generate, what kind of, how they structured their response. Because at the end of the day, even if you're a user, that's what matters to you. Even when you'll be using this as a code assistant, that's what matters to you. Even if you're using as a research LLM, that's what matters to you. So this is everything you need to know about, the recently released Llama 4 models, providing you the leading multimodal intelligence. I'm really excited to try, and I've already played around with it. They're absolutely great, but obviously in production, when you'll be using these in combination with the other models, that's when the magic happens, and that's what we are looking forward to. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.